Hello everyone and welcome to Harv's World for the next episode of Off the Grid. It's a bright early morning here in the Willamina forest and I came down to open up the farm market and remembered finally, oh what am I doing? Harv, you gotta go past the gate before you close it. I finally remembered I needed to pick up my cotton trailer from the church. I just kept forgetting. For whatever reason, I couldn't remember. Actually, there is one thing I want to do while I'm down here. I'm going to move this farm all because I do have the harvester fixed, so I don't need the farm all out there, just for now anyway. Maybe I'll park it right here. It'll still be a nice little showpiece. Maybe right about in here. There we go. Yeah, that'll do. Woo. Anyway, yeah, I just keep forgetting the cotton trailer. I really do. I don't know why. You know, out of sight, out of mind, I guess. That kind of thing. Yeah, whatever. I've got it now, and that's what matters. Oh, what do we got going on today? Well, there is so much going on, it's not even funny. You know, now that we've got our town harvesting, I have a lot more work to do down by the home plots. I need to get all that fencing pulled out. I need to rebuild fence, actually, because I want the home plot separate from my land. So I need to make sure, oh, and the private property signs need to be moved, that kind of thing. So all of that needs to get shuffled around a little bit. What else is going on? Well, I have moved the tree harvester back down to my road where I'm going to push back into the forest, put in the sawmill. But I've got other equipment that I need to get back up also, and I don't want to drive it a piece at a time because, frankly, well, at least one of those pieces of equipment I would be driving for the better part of a day. So I don't want to do that either. But I've also discovered that I have been remarkably remiss in my farming duties, and so I want to get my fields taken care of, and that's going to kind of be my priority, at least for the first part of the day. I want to get my fields planted. Now the sugar beets are planted, they're all taken care of. I have done a little bit of work around the farm. In fact, I mowed grass again, and I've got some silage cooking. Not that I necessarily need it, but might bring in a little bit of extra money. Look at that, we're back already. That drive gets shorter and shorter every time I do it. Oddly enough, at least it feels that way sometimes. So, with all of that said, let's get to work. I'm not sure what crops I'm going to put in yet. I am just going to drop this cotton trailer right here though, because at some point I need to take the harvester back down to the farm market. Oh, and my tractor's not there. It's going to be over here. So now that we have a town, what does that mean for us? Well, that means that we're going to have government. You know, basically council meetings is how that's going to function. As people come in, of course, Pierre and myself will be founding members. I think I am going to put soybeans in. I've got my fields prepped. They just need to be planted. And I think I'll put soybeans in the middle field here. So Pierre and I will be, you know, the first members of that representative council, if you will. The city council, well, that's going to make decisions regarding what people want, need, or otherwise in our little town of Harveston. Should be interesting. I'm actually quite intrigued to discover what folks are going to be wanting. Very intrigued, actually. Because frankly, I have no idea, and I'm not going to presume that I do. Not a bit. I think I'm going to open myself up here just a little bit and run a row across here. Yeah, about like so. Just to give me more turnaround room. So anyway, yeah, that's where we're going with that. Now, I hope these plots sell reasonably quickly at the price I'm selling them for. They should go fairly quick. The attorney is still working out the exact dollar amounts. I have contacted a real estate agent, well, my real estate agent, to work with said attorney to get all of that set up and ready to go. And I would expect to be hearing from them within the next day or two, probably by the end of the week at the bare minimum. Yeah, at least by the end of the week, so that we can start selling these plots. I can get the money together for the sawmill, and while that's going on, I need to be pushing that road back in. Because like I said, I don't want that sawmill close to the homestead. I want it farther back, just because I know it's going to be a raucous, a raucous bit of kit, if you will. It's going to be loud. Now, I've been thinking a lot about those sugar beets that I planted. If you remember that, I'm sure you do. Over there on the hill. Oh, you can see they're starting to come in. Very nice. And what am I going to do with them? I'm not even entirely sure. I've got some research to do before I can well, even harvest them, because I don't know that much about sugar beets or what it's going to take. I mean, I've already ramped myself up for cotton, so it's obvious new crops are not going to hold me back, but that doesn't mean that I know exactly what I'm going to do about it. I hope it's not too expensive a proposition. I can't see why it would be necessarily, but I've gotten burned by that particular thought process before, and I don't want to do that again. We'll see. We'll see how that sorts itself out. Now, as far as the home plots go, of course, people are going to be allowed to pretty much do what they want to do on their plot. You know, this isn't going to be some highly governed situation. And that's another reason, you know, another reason that I wanted to give people the opportunity to move in up here, simply because I don't need homeowners associations. I don't need any of that. We just need good people who are going to work hard to keep things in order. The soybeans are done, so I just decided to, since I've got the planter hooked up, throw in another batch of sunflowers. I like sunflowers. I like them a lot, actually. And you can never have too many, at least in my opinion. You can never have too many. I might be slightly biased in that, but I don't know. I love some sunflowers, man. I love them. Sunflower seeds, I should say. The flowers are nice too, but the seeds are delicious. And sunflower seeds keep for a long time also. But you know, I mean, it's a cake, or I don't know. We'll see. Maybe somebody across the lake wants some. They might need them for something. Maybe even the diner would want them. I don't know. Soybeans and sunflowers complete. Well, in the ground anyway, not complete. They've got a lot of growing left to do. But they are done. One more field, my biggest field. And I don't know quite what I'm going to put in yet, but I do want to take a look and see. Yep, these sugar beets are doing quite nicely. Quite nicely indeed. Very good. I've got a lot of sorting out to do on those things, though. I hope they'll be willing to sit for a little bit if they get ready to harvest, because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't yet. I'll get it sorted out, though. I always do, right? Right. that's going to do it for the planting. Absolutely, positively. One big whopping field of canola, soybeans, and sunflowers. What am I going to do with all that stuff? I really don't know yet. I mean, I'm not hurting. And I do want to do, I said before, and I'll say it again, because it's the absolute truth. I would like to get some potatoes. Once again. Potatoes did me up very well before, and I'd like to replace them at some point. Maybe when I figure out these sugar beets. Because I don't know if you remember those potatoes, but they were quite the challenge. Although that was back in the day when I had much smaller fields and itty bitty dinky equipment. I mean, this stuff was doing like one row at a time on those potatoes. And then, well, when I harvested the potatoes, if you recall that, I had a little tiny digger that would pluck them out of the ground and then just toss them into piles. Yeah. So, I don't know about potatoes. I mean, I do know. I do want them again. I just have to figure out a better way. Because my fields are so much bigger now. So much bigger now. That I can't possibly, for the life of me, even think about doing them. Actually, you know what I need to do? Harv. I need to move this sprayer. I'm going to need the sprayer anyway, so I might as well pull it out and get into my fertilizer because I'm getting awfully low. Now, the sunflower and canola fields, they were in pretty good shape. They needed lime, so I got the lime on them, but before I put lime down, I did fertilizer, and then my planter, of course, fertilizes as it plants, so that was a non-issue. But my seeder, on the other hand, does not work that way, and I have to get another application of fertilizer on this field. So sunflowers and soybeans, except for some weed prevention, are good to go. Well, I managed to almost fill up the fertilizer spreader, but that was the absolute last of my fertilizer, so I'm going to have to make a run to the shop at some point. But, holy shnikes, Batman. Yeah, that field has come in very, very quickly. Wow. I'm going to have to check on that. That seems awfully fast. And no, I don't completely want to go into the trees. That's better. Wow. That's just some amazing soybean action right there. Absolutely amazing. And as I go across this field with the fertilizer, you can start to see where I left cotton behind, because I wasn't used to that cotton harvester. And a lot of cotton got left on this field. It's not like it mattered that much. It's not like I was making money off of it or anything, but still, I feel like I should be a little more efficient than that. But it was the first time. It was absolutely the first time, so I'm not going to concern myself with it too much. Luckily, I've got a very large fertilizer spreader. Very large, and this field is done. That was quick. I for the life of me, can't believe how rapidly these soybeans came up. Crazy. And it looks like the sunflowers are doing the same bloody thing. Oh, but only partly. Interesting. Who knows? Most assuredly not me. But, oh, and I missed a row down here on the end. Oh well, life goes on. Well, these crops are coming in so fast, I decided I was going to put this off and do it a little bit later, but I decided I better get my weed prevention in place because I honestly don't know what's going on here, but they decided we're coming, Harv, and you had better be prepared, so I am getting my butt prepared. That finishes up the weed prevention. Good God. I had no intention of doing that, but man, these crops. What's with these crops? Just, man, they popped right out of the ground. Well, we've had a lot of rain lately, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's just extra moisture in the ground. I don't know. But I do know that all 3 fields are fully and completely done. It's a matter of sitting back and just waiting for them to grow up at this point. And that's fine by me. Absolutely fine. Although my morning is now shot, but that's okay. I mean, I did need to focus on the farming aspect of the homestead for a little bit anyway. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I've been a little bit lax, a little bit remiss in keeping up on the farming, so I did need to get that managed. But at this point, I need... That was a little bit funky. You go in. Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog. At this point, I need to get down to the home plots. There's some work I want to get taken care of down there. I want to take the flatbed with me because I know there's at least one piece of equipment I can bring back up here. I shouldn't need any more. I do need to get the rest of the road laid in down there. Probably put some markers on those properties as well, just so people know exactly what they're getting. Yeah, we'll see about that. Yeah, this thing is incredibly slow, so I wanted to come and get it loaded up to take back. Let's keep that as close to those axles as possible. That ought to do. Hopefully that will do. I do like to look at that sign. So like I said, I need to get all of this stuff out of here. The fencing here, the gate, the private property signs. I'm going to shift those up the road a ways. I'm going to move this gate farther up there. Well, you'll see when it's all done. But for now, all I want to do is get it out of here. Okay, that's a lot better. Now people can come in and see the properties they're looking for or want to look at when they're ready to sell. I just stacked everything up over here so I can move that over and rebuild those fences and gates wherever I want to. And that's what's really important. At least in my opinion. Now I'm kind of debating at this point. I've got a bunch of timber still left from clearing those plots. You can see it piled over here. I did get it moved down here so it was easier to load onto the truck. But I've got a load ready to go on the truck. Somewhat unstable load ready to go on the truck. Anyway, I'm debating because I feel like I'm getting close to taking care of the sawmill, at least reasonably close, so I'm wondering if I shouldn't just hang on to all of that. I still need to move it. I need to get it out of here. I don't need a whole bunch of timber sitting around when people come to look at their new vacation homes or whatever they choose to do on these properties. So I've got roughly 38,000 liters of silage sitting here in my silage clamp, my bunker silo, whatever you prefer to call it. And I've been talking to the guys down at the shop. You recall the other day I went in there to pick up my belt. Well, You know, I was talking to them about the fact that I was farming over here, and they just happened to ask if I had any cattle or if I did anything with silage, and I said, yeah, I definitely have cattle, and I definitely feed them silage, at least in part. I mix it into total mixed ration, and they happened to mention that there was a new power plant over there, and that power plant runs on biomatter. One of the things that it would be willing to accept is silage. So if I ever had any left over and I needed to make a few extra bucks, I could take it over to them and they would buy it off of me, pay me for it to keep that power plant running. And I thought, well, that seems like a pretty good deal. I mean, I just use grass to make the silage. So yeah, I've got more than my fair share of grass, and if I can make a few bucks off my grass and still have plenty to feed my cattle, I don't see why I wouldn't do something like that, especially now that I've got some big financial goals in mind. Now, granted, I've made big steps toward meeting those financial goals, but at the same time, who's going to turn their nose up at a few extra bucks coming in? Well, this is the place. I actually almost hate coming here, simply because this was the sawmill. This was Chuck and Hugo's sawmill. Well, yeah, it was Chuck's sawmill, then Hugo bought it. It looks like I need to come in through here. Yeah, it looks that way. Oh, how kind. They opened the gate for me. I guess I come across the scale. Looks like we're weighing in at 38,000. Wow, that's pretty steep. Yeah, it looks like they're going to accept it right here. Very nice. Well, they took it all. Now what about my payment? I guess I need to get weighed out. So 24. 20, just under 25,000 from 38 to 20. Okay. Well, after talking to the gatehouse guy, whatever you want to call him, I guess they do like a direct deposit kind of thing, and those transactions take place at midnight. So I'm not going to get paid up front. I don't even know how much I'm going to get paid yet. He said it's about $200 per 1,000, and I had 28,000. So 200 times 28. A little bit. Nothing dramatic. And you know, while I'm down here, since I have to come back through Hugo's place anyway, I might as well haul back a load of manure because I know I'm going to need it for the farm market. So let me grab some manure from Hugo here. So as I was hauling this manure back, coming into the farm market, I was thinking about what else I wanted. I said I wanted to get done today, and I just remembered one last thing. Oh. That was close. One last thing that I want to get done today. I mean, I am going to stock up the farm market, but man, that grass is back already. I'm going to have to do something about that. I can't come down here and mow once a week or whatever. I wanted to get back in here to this cleared out area and keep working on setting up this little campground. This is a nice little drive along the lake through here, I have to admit. So I've got these places cleared out here, and I have already brought in some picnic type tables that people can use, but I want to grab some rocks and mark off some fire pits, because I don't want people just burning anywhere, anything. I don't need this whole forest to go up in flames. So I'm going to work on that for a minute. Okay, well, there's one. There's two. That's the third. And the next place should be just about right over here. There we go. That's the fourth one. 5. And I want to say there's one more down here somewhere. Down around the bend, maybe. 6. And that's right, there's one tucked back in here. Yep, this is the last one, kind of a dead end. And 7. This is actually a really nice camping spot. Look at that. Great view of the lake here, right next to it. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, one step closer to campground. Actually, I think we're pretty darn set. I mean, it's not like I need to provide, you know, camping gear and all that. People bring that on their own. They'll bring their own trailers or campers or tents or whatever they're going to use. Absolutely. Might be real close to opening this campground. We'll see. We will absolutely see. But at this point, it's time to get back up to the farm market, stock that back up again. But I think that's going to do it for this episode of Off the Grid. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. As always, I very much appreciate you coming along for the ride. And until next time, take care.